We like to call it the Supernatural Hour. And now, our hosts.
I am your host, Castle. As people want to know about meditation, how to improve their gifts, guided meditation, and things along that line. Now, I know that Deanne and Beaker have both partaken. I was going to say partooken, but that's not.
Participated?
That's not
Participated would be
participated.
bitter.
Partaken? I
Did you
didn't
just
eat guided meditation.
Guided meditation.
This guided meditation's a little stale.
That should be the meme right there. Guided meditation.
I'm doing it.
Just find like some guy like sitting with their legs crossed doing the whole like, you know
The Om.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm going full. I'm going full Simpsons on this. Maybe.
I was thinking Simpsons, yeah.
Anyway, since you two have partaken of guided meditation,
You don't eat it. It's not food.
that's the word that sounds so delicious
Speaking
in my
of
mouth.
food, do you have any donuts?
Maybe somewhere. Probably not, because I don't eat donuts, and neither does Elle. So let's talk guided meditation. So I am completely ignorant in this particular field, so I'll just throw in with my comments that have no rhyme or reason.
Well, that's
I'll
what
let
you
two
do
talk about it.
every podcast anyways. Like you pretend like you know what you're talking about, but you really don't.
That's kind of my job. I just pretend.
All right, let's start us off.
No, because I'm going to play the skeptic on this episode. I read a little bit about what the theme is. I'm kind of on the outs about this, so go ahead and just I'm not to be disrespectful at all. It's just it's something I haven't tried yet, and I'm not sure if I fully subscribe to it.
No, you talking about guided meditation in
Guided
general,
meditation
or meditation
or,
in general? So I've been through a couple episodes of sessions of guided meditation, and the first one, it was just like, you know, they sit there and they walk you through and they say, okay, you're walking through this meadow and you see this tree and blah blah blah, this and that and stuff.
And the idea, I'm going to break in here, the idea of what they say is to get you to clear your mind and to focus. And I liked it better doing the guided meditation, because when I did mine by myself, it was almost the exact same process. The difference was, if you're doing it by yourself, you know, you get going and you're thinking all the things and getting, you know, in the zone, and then, you know, your stomach grumbles and you start thinking, I'm kind of hungry. You know, my mind starts thinking of other things, and it's really hard to stay on track. I like the guided meditation because you're listening to someone, and it's a lot harder, at least for me, to get off track.
Who are my spirit guides? I'm going down a meadow. Cheese sandwich.
That's how my brain works, oddly enough.
So the thing is, like, while they're doing that, you're supposed to be able to see this as you're going through. And the first guided meditation session I went through, I couldn't see anything that they were saying. I don't know if that's normal or not. I don't know if people can't see the things or if they can. If they can visualize stuff. Like, usually when I close my eyes, I don't visualize anything. It's just like black for me. It's just
You're
like,
supposed to use your imagination.
I don't have one of those.
Why does that not surprise me?
I'm the team skeptic, along with Lurch here.
False. Okay, yeah.
Just
Along
start
with
singing
me.
Barney
Lurch and I are
songs.
the team skeptics. I mean, I think I'm a little more quick to believe certain things than he is, but we're both very skeptical about things too. Like, he's looking at me funny as I pulled out all my stones here and laid them on the table, and I'm holding the ones that I meditate with in my left hand right now.
I tend to take more of a scientific approach to, like, if it has to be tested repeatedly in different environments, different scenarios, and have the same outcome, it has to be able to be measured. You know, things like that. Things that are intangible, I have a hard time wrapping my brain around, because you can't really prove it to anyone else. It's like personal experiences.
So you can't disprove it either.
You can't disprove it either, but it's...
I could have a whole conversation. We could do a whole episode just me and you talking about...
We need to have that episode, just you and me.
How you can and can't prove things scientifically through the paranormal world. But I think that's for a different show.
I'm still just disturbed that Tim's laid his stones out on the table.
I was wondering if anyone was going to say that. And I was waiting
Can I touch
for
your
it.
stones, Tim?
Laid them out there.
And he's got his one in his hand.
The first session I went through, like, they do get you into that really relaxed state of mind, so you're able to actually focus more on stuff. And both times I went through guided meditation, they get towards the end of it and they say, okay, now connect with your spirit guides and ask them any questions you have. And the first time I went through the meditation, I really didn't experience anything. And I don't know if it was me or if it was the person I was doing the meditation with, but I know the second time I went through guided meditation, it was a completely different experience because I was doing it. This person actually set up a crystal grid, and that's when I did it with Michelle Newman.
That's what I did mine with as well.
She set up a crystal grid, and she actually had me in one of those zero gravity chairs.
Which is amazing.
Those chairs are really nice, and so I was like extremely comfortable. I wasn't worried. Like, I think part of the other reason was that the other one I was on a massage table, and it was just kind of hard and uncomfortable. I think with the zero gravity chair, that might have made a big difference because I was more relaxed. I was more comfortable, and some of the things that she described, I remember there's one point where she got to, like, you know, you're walking, you see a pond, and you like walk into the pond, and like basically she said you just kind of put your feet in it. For me, I was completely submerged. I was under the water. I was able to breathe, but I was able to kind of like visualize like everything that she was saying, but to a greater extent than what she said. And then I remember she talking about, like, you see an eagle, and I remember seeing all that. So with her, I was actually able to visualize stuff. And I got to the point where she's like, okay, now you're connected with your spirit guides. Ask them any questions you want. And I remember seeing, and I'm pretty sure it was Rose, my main spirit guide. I asked her the question that I had on my mind, and I got the answer that pretty much that I've been getting from all the mediums that I've been working with is, you already know the answer to that. And then I remember Michelle saying, okay, they have a gift for you. Imagine this box. And what I saw was a box that looked exactly like the box that I carry all my rocks in. And as I went to open it, it just vanished. So I didn't actually get to see the gift that they had for me, which tells me that there's a lot more that I need to work on, and I'm not ready for that yet. But it was a completely calming, relaxing experience, and it was kind of eye-opening at the same time. It's just like, as I'm talking with my Barry White voice, I'm putting Lurch to sleep over there.
No, all I can visualize is Brad Pitt in Seven saying, "What's in the box?
What's in the box?
What's in the box?"
So that's kind of how I felt, but it was just like, it's like I wasn't frustrated like I normally am, like, because there's been times where, like I said, I've been trying to open up my abilities. I've been told there's so much that I'm going to be able to do, and it's frustrating because it's like, well, I want it now. And I know one of the things that that Cadence told me that my spirit guides are trying to teach me is patience, and the other thing is that they're trying to teach me is how to work with others instead of just saying, fine, I'll do it myself, which I tend to do a lot. Ask Castle will tell you.
That's why my hair's big old shit-eating grin on my face as soon as he said that.
Just get out of my way, I'll do it. So I'm trying to learn patience with people and learn how to work more as a team instead of just trying to take on everything by myself. And so when I didn't see what was in the box, it was no surprise to me. It didn't frustrate me because it was just like, I knew I'm not ready for that at this time, but eventually I will be.
Right. You know, I went into the guided meditation, and I don't want to say skeptical, but, you know, not sure of what it was because I'd never done it before. And when she started doing it, I thought, oh, okay, you know, I've done this before on myself, you know, and I thought this is kind of nice having someone else do it because I can, like I said before, stay focused. But part of her process, and I'm sure everyone does it a little different, but part of her process is early on, you connect with a tree. Did she have you do that?
Yes.
And you connect with the tree. And she was kind of describing this tree, and because you're in this zero gravity chair, so you're kind of laying back and your knees are up a little bit. And I remember feeling energy going out of my feet, flying up into the air and going back into my head. I could literally feel energy circling through my body. And I remember thinking, whoa, that's kind of cool. And that went on for probably 5 or 6 seconds. And then she said, you know, you should be feeling energy flowing through. I'm like, I do. This is really cool.
She got up. She's like, testify.
So, you know, that was kind of interesting. And then, yeah, when I got to the gift part, my spirit, and there was Charles, you know, and the 2 women were there, and the 4th guy was running around in the background.
Was Charles in charge?
He is. He
Sorry.
is. Okay. Yeah, and half of our listeners have no clue what you're talking about.
It was Scott Baio.
Chachi.
Tim's just giving me a look.
I'm just like, you're assuming that all of our listeners are younger than 25.
Older than 25.
Older than 40.
Well, you said Charles in Charge. You said none of our listeners are going to know who that is. So
It was an old sitcom from the 80s with Scott
yeah, no,
Baio.
that's what I'm saying. You're assuming all of our listeners are 25 and younger.
That's why I'm clarifying it.
That was a joke for our 5 listeners over.
Right?
Anyway, so I get to, the spirit guides, and, she says, go talk to them, ask them anything you want. Now they have a gift for you. And Charles walked up to me and opened his hands. And Michelle later told me, she says, everyone sees a box. And I was like one of the very few people that didn't see a box. It was just a big, shiny ball. And it was knowledge. And they wouldn't give it to me. And the feeling I got was, there's knowledge for you. You can't have it all right now, but since it was glowy, and it was, the glow is it's like you can have little bits of it, and pieces of it will come out.
I want to know now.
Give it to me now.
So I couldn't have it, but, I couldn't have it all at once, but I got to take parts of it. And the message for me was, you can have knowledge. You just have to ask for it and look for it.
But Father, I want a ball of knowledge too. Veruca, darling. Wonka, how much for the ball of knowledge?
Yeah, but
What business are you in, Salt? Nuts.
Yeah. So I didn't get to open a box, but it was a glowy ball of light. That's all I got.
That's cool. Cool story, bro. No, I'm not trying to be. I'm like legitimately. That's actually kind of cool.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
I highly recommend, especially if you live in Utah in the American Fork area, contacting the Utah mediums and going through a session of guided meditation, especially if you're looking to open up more, or if you feel like you are somewhat sensitive or you have some sort of gift or ability. They're great people to work with, especially when it comes to guided meditation.
And even let's say that you say to yourself, okay, I don't believe in the spirit guides, and that's all a bunch of hooey. Just to kind of get that relaxing and just focusing your mind. And, if you don't believe in spirit guides, maybe instead of talking to your spirit guide, you can just focus internally on a problem that you're dealing with, or whatever.
That's the great thing about meditation. It doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be about your spirit guides. It's, for me, when I meditate in the morning before work, it's just, I find it extremely relaxing, and it just kind of helps melt away a lot of those frustrations and problems that I feel like I'm having. It just kind of puts you in that peaceful state of mind where it's just like, it doesn't matter what happens today, I'm going to be in a good mood.
And I'm gonna kind of come back to Lurch with his slight skepticism on this, which is totally fine. Think about in church, they always tell you, to read your scriptures and ponder and
Search, ponder, and pray.
Quiet your mind.
Hey, Tim has been to church.
I know,
And so I think that
I do Book of Mormon scripture study every Thursday.
awesome.
I don't go to church, but I do scripture study.
Hey,
We'll take what we can get. No, but calming your mind and just listening, and they teach to after you pray not to jump up and run off, but maybe listen. And so there's a lot to be said.
You're kind of humbling yourself in a way.
Right. Whatever it is that whatever level you believe on, there's nothing wrong with meditation, pondering, quieting your mind.
so let me ask, because I, as someone who's never meditated, the few times I've tried to do anything similar,
It's boring.
well, I wouldn't even say it's boring.
See, for me, it's very relaxing. I've got a video that I listen to that's got nature sounds and water running and stuff like that.
That would just make me need to go pee.
It probably would. And there's different, different videos and stuff that you can listen to, or different sounds. Just as whatever puts you in a relaxing mood. And for me, it's like when I first started meditating, I got to the point where I just kept hearing in my head nature.
Is there one that has music by Slayer?
I'm sure you can listen to Slayer and meditate to that if you want.
So
There's the humpback whales. I like the
So
humpback whales.
let me ask this.
Those are
I
nice.
got a couple questions.
Okay.
As a non-meditator,
I gave you that candle.
I know I still have that candle. I need to
Meditate
actually
with
use
it.
So
Al, what the hell are you doing? Make him meditate.
let me ask you all this. So meditation. I'm sitting cross-legged in the middle of my bedroom floor, going,
No,
Why are you doing
that?
that?
Hold on.
Sounds dumb.
Why are you doing that?
No, I'm
He's painting a picture
painting
for
a
us.
picture.
Okay, paint the picture.
I've got my legs crossed. I've got my backs of my hands on my knees with my
Living
fingers
in the
pointed towards-
present.
tented into. Anyway, how do I A, keep thinking about that grilled cheese sandwich, and B, how do I keep from falling asleep?
Okay, so
Don't do it at night. while you're trying to go
So
to sleep.
the first thing I'll say is to keep yourself from thinking about that grilled cheese sandwich. One of the things that someone at the
Start by eating a grilled cheese
Eat
sandwich.
the grilled cheese sandwich
before you meditate.
and then after you eat it, you're just like, that was a great grilled cheese sandwich. No, so one of the things that someone at the Dancing Crane Imports taught me
I'm
when
suddenly craving a grilled cheese sandwich.
it's like we all got stoned.
Dancing Crane, sorry.
So one of the ladies at Dancing Crane, I told her I was starting to meditate and what I was trying to do, and she says, well, what works for me is she'll say either just kind of repeat in her head the word focus or center. So you just imagining yourself, like, so you have your eyes closed and you just keep saying into your head like center, and you kind of focus on your heart area, and you just keep kind of repeating yourself like center. It helps kind of clear your mind and keep you from focusing on other things.
Cheddar.
See, for me, now that I've gotten better at it, for me, the guided meditation and the class that I went to where I first found my spirit guides, it was almost identical in the process, other than we didn't have the zero gravity chairs in the class. But for me to really focus on details of what it is I'm imagining. So, some people can sit there and go om, some people can listen to music. I have to walk myself through a process describing, I'm walking through a forest. What does the forest look like? What does it smell like? What's the weather like? Is it hot? Is it cold? And as I focus on that and I kind of build on this story in my brain, then that's when everything goes away. And I'm sure that meditation for everybody will be different. If I kept saying center, that would bring me right out of wherever I was.
See, and there's other things you do. You can focus on your breathing, just kind of as you're breathing in and out, just in, out, or you can count slowly from 1 to 10. It's just whatever works for you to kind of help you focus on what you're trying to do instead of letting your mind wander. Because there's times where, like, my mind is just all over the damn place, and sometimes my meditation sessions don't go exactly the way I want them to. But there's several different things. If you're listening to sounds, just focus on the sounds. Or, like I said, you can try to center yourself, or you can walk yourself through a meditation session like Deanna was just describing. Now, to answer your second question, how do you keep from falling asleep? Falling asleep is not necessarily a bad thing.
Right, halfway through.
Especially if you're listening to some of those meditative videos that you can find on YouTube. Although you're asleep, your brain's still taking all that in, especially if you're wearing headphones. You're gonna still take in all that meditation, all those sounds, and your mind is still gonna be focusing on what you need it to focus on, whether or not you're awake.
Your subconscious is still processing,
Yes.
even though your conscious mind is
During
not.
my guided meditation, and it was later at night, it was at 7, and it was dark because it was a month ago, and it was, winterish, so, the sun went down early. It was the weirdest thing. There was a little segment of the guided meditation where it's like I felt like I was asleep. That feeling you get when if you're in class and you fall asleep and then you wake up or whatever. I had that feeling of I was asleep. But
I've had that feeling where, like, I needed to fart before I fell asleep, and when I woke up, I didn't anymore. It's so weird.
Funny how that works. But I didn't miss anything in the story that she was telling it. There was no missing things in the narrative, because when I woke up, I thought, oh crap, what did I miss? Have I goofed up? But as I was listening to her, I thought, no, I remember everything.
So
It's kind of like that when you're like watching TV and you're starting to doze off. Like, your eyes are closed, you're a little out of it, but you can still hear everything that's going on in the TV show.
makes sense. So let me ask you guys this, because I'm going to kind of hop into Lurch's court here for just a minute.
Thank you.
Scoot over. You're crowding me.
I was here first.
Bum.
Seats taken.
Good point.
Seats taken.
So if we're relaxing ourselves, we're opening ourselves up, can that be dangerous? Can we inadvertently open ourselves up to negative influences?
I would say it's a possibility, and I think that's why when we did the guided meditation sessions that we did, she sets up a crystal protection grid beforehand.
And then I made sure that I had my own personal protection stones with me.
And don't meditate in the middle of a pentagram.
Or the Slayer?
or to Slayer or Slipknot.
And one of the things that the first guided meditation session I did with, they did like a kind of like a cleansing ritual where they removed all the negative from the room.
Yeah, that's what Michelle did.
You know, and I'm going to, just for our listeners, jump in here, and I don't know what I'm talking about, so take this for what it's worth. But in my experience, I would think maybe, like you said, a cleansing ritual. I think even something as simple as a prayer ahead of time maybe.
That works, yes.
Beneficial or
I've
helpful.
done that as well, where I'll get down, and I'm not big on praying, but when I do meditate, I will sometimes pray beforehand and, let them know this is what my intentions are, this is what I'm trying to do, and that I invite only the light to come through. Another thing I do is, and I'm sure Michelle had you do this as well, you're holding a piece of selenite.
She gave me some things to hold, and I think it might depend on who you are and what you need, but I don't remember what she gave me, but I do know it wasn't selenite. And I had a couple of different things.
I was holding a couple of different things as well, but I mean, for me personally, I usually, whenever I go do anything when it comes to the paranormal, I have a piece of selenite on me somewhere.
No, I take that back. There was a piece of selenite.
But
I lied.
I would definitely recommend holding on to a piece of selenite during your meditation, because it's not only going to enhance what you're doing, but it's going to help protect you as well, because it is a protective stone.
I think I had a selenite in one hand, and I think she gave me rose quartz for the other.
That sounds about right. I mean, it's going to differ depending on the person. Stones are going to react differently to different people. But I do think that selenite is a definite must when it comes to meditating, just because, again, it's going to enhance whatever it's going on. That's part of the thing. It's one of the things that selenite does, but it's also a cleansing and a protective stone, so it's going to help kind of keep those negative things away.
And again, if you're going to do guided meditation, make sure you seek out a credible medium. I mean, there's Tim and I know Lurch and Deanne and Don have met numerous mediums. Most of the ones we've worked with have been fairly credible. There's been a few that we've come across to build themselves as mediums who are about as psychic as a pencil.
Right.
So make sure if you do that you're seeking out somebody who's credible. We've had a bunch on our show. We've had Caden on the show. We've had Ann Libroder. We've had the Utah Medium, even Peaches. Find somebody who is credible.
I find all of those people credible. I've worked with Ann. I've worked with the Newmans. I've worked with Caden. I don't know if she considers herself a medium. I know she's an energy healer, but Amanda, when she was on the show.
Yeah, Amanda. And she should be just about done with her walk across the country here in another month or two.
Those are all people that I would trust to do guided meditation or energy healing or whatever it is that you're looking to have done.
Dead air.
What do you think, Don?
What am I reading?
No, I said, what do you think? What do you think about meditation and what's your...
He wasn't paying attention. You put him on the spot,
No,
okay?
I was meditating. I was kind of out of it.
You woke him up?
No, I think meditation can work. I haven't done it. I really haven't participated in it.
You can turn that up.
Up better.
There you go.
This half of the table can't work our microphones.
I really wish people could have seen like Don trying to tilt his head to talk on the microphone. It's like it's on a swivel stand that adjusts up and down. So contorted.
Yeah, I haven't really got into the meditation. Deanne has done it. And
Yeah, and I came
she's
home and
told
I
me
said, you got to go do this. It's really cool. So we'll get him in there.
You know, and I'll be honest with you, it's something that I need to do. It's something I've thought about doing. I just never think about it until we're actually like in this setting talking about it.
Castle, let's make a couple's date.
You and me,
I mean,
you and me
it's-
meditation.
You and me, meditation, yeah.
There are times where it is, and I know people are like, I don't have time to meditate. I've got this and I've got that. And the thing is like, I'm pretty sure everyone can find 5 minutes to set aside to just kind of meditate, whether or not it's like right before you're going to bed or hell, sometimes I'll put on I bought those the cozy phones, and they're headphones you can actually wear while you're sleeping. I'll throw those on, put on my meditation music, and I'll just go to bed.
Right now, and some people might be saying, well, how long does the guided meditation last? Part of that depends on you, because she gives you time to talk to your spirit guides. And if you want to talk to them for 1 minute, if you want to talk to them for an hour, I felt like I talked to mine for probably 3 to 5-ish minutes. And my whole session from start to finish, including the, cleansing the room of the negative energy before, and the time to kind of come out of it, was a little over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, a lot of those meditation videos you can find on YouTube will be about an hour long.
And just to be clear with people, most of the mediums that we've talked about, if you go that route, if you seek to have help with a guided meditation, they are going to charge you. That's just, you plan on that. If you're contacting these mediums, say, hey, I need a free session, they're going to look at you and say,
Now, you mentioned guided meditation. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
oh, I was going to say, because it is something that it's a service they're providing, and so they're going to be expected to be paid for that service.
Well, and a lot of them, that's how they make their living, is
Right.
through doing like psychic readings or guided meditations.
And,
Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, I'm almost done, I promise.
Okay.
Now,
Jeez.
Deanne, Tim, what are kind of some price ranges that you guys have experienced as far as that kind of
I had
thing
a
goes?
question. Almost done.
$60. Wait, hold on. This is really quick. It's about $60 for an hour long session. Okay, go alert.
I'm just kidding. You mentioned something about guided meditation on YouTube. Is that something that people can like actually do by themselves?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'd be
Because
careful.
you said that
Yeah, like I said, dude, it's like we talked about earlier. Like
you wouldn't ghost hunt by yourself. You wouldn't guide meditate yourself through videos on YouTube.
No, so like
might go
I said, what I listen to is more like I said, a kind of like nature type sounds.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of it's if nothing else, when you're doing the meditation, you're relaxing your body, you're relaxing your
So
mind.
it's not like a video of like someone saying, "Okay, close your eyes."
There
picture
are
yourself.
videos. There actually are videos like
Okay.
that on YouTube. If you do choose to go that route, again, say a prayer, or do some kind of protection ritual or whatever. If you got smudge spray, spray in the room.
Yeah.
And like I
Close your
said,
eyes and envision a demigorgon.
Shadrach imagine Shadrach the Undying is coming at you with 4 arms and scythes and all of them. What do you do?
There is no lurch, only Shadrach.
Roll the d20.
Roll a d20.
Michelle charges $1 a minute, I think.
Yeah, that's
roughly.
what most prices are, about $1 a minute. Sometimes, like if you go a little bit over an hour, they're not going to charge you like $63. It'll just be like a
How
flat
much was
60.
that? $63.27 plus tax. So anyway, well, that's. Anybody have anything else they want to cover on that before we wrap this episode up?
I've also contacted Cindy Lafitte. She was on one of our shows back in August.
I remember her.
It's a little pricey. She charges like $220, but that's for. I mean, your session could go for more than an hour. It's just like a flat rate or something like that. One of the things she does, and what I'm going to do with her, is past life regression. So kind of walking through your past lives and figure out like what you, more than just kind of like how Sean said, you told me that I was a Civil War general or that you were an Egyptian priestess. She'll actually put you in like a hypnotic state, and you'll actually be able to access more of your past life.
So we'll call that an episode. Have a great night, guys.
Peace out,
Good night.
butterflies.
What?
You've been listening to the Supernatural Hour at AdvancedParanormal.com. The Supernatural Hour is part of the Radio Ronin network, found at RadioRonin.com. Copyright 2021 by Advanced Paranormal Services.